sphere of influence by manipulating the gods through his priests. Usually we ignore the pious mouthings of the priesthood, which have little to do with our own intentions and desires. On the occasions when the two do coincide, however, and we appear to be answering some human prayer, man invariably claims he has influenced the gods. This makes him more arrogant than ever. Nor is man above trying to create gods, who are more amenable to his wishes than we are. For this purpose, even his dead ancestors are employed. Unfortunately, the same belief with which man shapes us can transform one of his own into a deity of sorts. Such man-made gods have abilities exceeding those of mere mortals, and in addition embody all the vices of humankind. They inevitably hate the ace, whom they see as rivals and superiors. We call them Sioux, the evil ones, demons. 1. Silent, deadly, and immense, they came whispering out of the bright sky with talons extended. By their unnatural size and behaviour, he recognized the great white owls for what they were, minions of the dark goddess. Their golden eyes burned with ferocity. Their silver claws sank into his scalp and the shoulders of his naked body, ripping his flesh. He bit down hard on the inside of his cheek until he tasted blood, to keep himself from crying out. If she was watching from the other world, he refused to grant her that satisfaction. At some distance beyond the trees, he detected a faint but unmistakable glow that could only mean one thing. He must be approaching an area of sacred space. He stumbled as the ground beneath his feet turned to a gelatinous morass, sucking him down, then solidified almost instantly to trap his feet and ankles. With the palm of his hand, he struck the earth, spending a valuable portion of his remaining energy to break the surface tension and release himself. As he pulled his legs free, he felt the draught of wings brush his face. He promptly threw himself back down and cradled his head with his arms. The trio of hunters swept in low above him, the susurration of their wings all the more menacing for its softness. At the last instant, he surged to his feet. With flailing fists, he struck one of the birds in the chest, bringing it down in an explosion of feathers. Before it could hit the ground, he snatched up the creature and held it to his face. The distinctive musty odour flooded his mouth and throat as he sank his teeth into the owl's neck. Trying not to gag on the cloud of plumage, he clamped down hard and inhaled deeply. The owl screeched and writhed. He took another, even deeper breath, forcibly drawing into his lungs a thin vapour torn from the very core of his victim. He was ravenous for the creature's hire, the living spirit it contained. As he inhaled its essence, the energy that animated the owl began to replenish his waning strength. But one breath was not enough. He must have more. The pursuit had been so long. He was so weary. Sensing his intent, the owl redoubled its struggles. Its legs extended abnormally until they could reach around his torso and tear the flesh from his back, in order to lay bare the spine, to seize and crush the vertebrae with its mighty talons. But he did not give it the chance. Opening his jaws, he twisted the bird's head to one side and snapped its neck with his bare hands. Swiftly, he sucked the last of the hire from the dying body, even as the creature shriveled and decomposed in his hands. Then, with a cry of disgust, he flung the liquefying object from him. Drawing on his new strength, he ran on, pushing his way through close